You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that while I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the court. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckasha here with the Man Hour. Hope everybody having a great holiday season. 4 days until Christmas, and this is the best damn radio show on the planet. It is Wednesday edition right here with the Man Hour. I got some new toys in. I'm tinkering with them, and I got the new headsets in. I'm kind of liking the vibe a little bit here. We're doing the live show tomorrow in Chicago, weather pending. Right now, I believe the state of Nebraska has been shut down as far as I know. But as of right now, we are still live in Chicago tomorrow. So hopefully things, figure out what's going on here. But guys, I want to be flat honest tonight. I did not prepare for a show tonight. I got caught up with preparing for the storm. I got caught up with, doing family stuff, wrapping presents, and playing with new toys. So basically, I am going to leave the floor open to anybody out there that would like to talk about whatever you want to talk about tonight. So I have been fairly active on the Facebook page as usual the last couple of days, and today is no exception. And I got a lot of comments to get caught up on. So why don't we just jump over to the Facebook page and start looking at some of the comments that some people have been, discussing over here at Man Hour at facebook.com/Man Hour Sports. With that being said, Beastie did release his week 15 NFL power rankings, and that literally blew up. I think we had like 160 some comments on it right now. You guys are very much not liking his power rankings. Well, let me rephrase that. Some people love them, and some people absolutely hate them. So I see my man Alpha Rob jumping in the chat tonight. What is up, Alpha Rob? Hope you're having a grand evening. We see Joe jumping in the chat. He says, "Let's not say we did." You know what, Joe? Let's not and say we did. That's exactly right, man. That is a story of my life. Let's just say not and say we did, right? But Alpha Rob, like I was saying earlier before you did jump on, we're just kind of winging it all night tonight. I didn't plan anything. I got caught up with housework and spent time with the fam. So it is what it is. So what I want to discuss right here off the bat are Beastie's NFL power rankings. Well, like I said, guys, that has literally blown up again for like the 7th or 8th week in a row. Like people are they either love the power rankings or they absolutely hate the power rankings. And as you guys know, Beastie does have the Baltimore Ravens at number 10 in his power rankings, and many people think are like, no, they do not deserve to be on that list at all. And this is coming from Baltimore Ravens fans. So Dominic over here, Dominic Simone, says the Ravens should not be there on the list. And the Beastie comes back and fires and said, why should not they be on the list? They are the second in the AFC North, a very competitive division. They did beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, a division rival, with a backup quarterback. So why are they not a top 10 team? I believe right now they're sitting, 6th in the playoff standings, maybe 5th. I'm not 100% sure where they're sitting at right now. But out there, guys, on Facebook and YouTube.com alike, and of course you're watching us on iTunes or listening to us on iTunes or iHeartRadio, guys, should the Baltimore Ravens be a number 10 power ranked team? Now, I've seen other power rankings where they have them high as 7 or 8, like 8 and 7 range right in there from CBS. What was the other one? It was like Sportsline. I'm not 100% what Sportsline is. So should the Baltimore Ravens be a top 10 team? I think they should not be a top 10 team. I do not have any faith in the Baltimore Ravens whatsoever in the playoffs or in the rest of the season, to be flat out honest with you. Because when we look at the rest of their schedule, let's see who they're playing for the rest of their schedule. I believe don't they play the Cincinnati Bengals coming up here to like end the season, if I'm not mistaken? Internet's pretty slow today. Are any of you guys getting hit by the snowstorm yet? I'm just kind of curious about that. Like, we have not been hit yet, but it has definitely dropped. Like, it was 45 when I got home from work, and now it's like 3 or 4 degrees outside. We definitely got the coldness of the snowstorm, but not the actual storm yet. So, man, what did load already? Jeez. But anyways, Joe says, what the hell are you talking about? Well, Joe, it's pretty cut and dry. Are the Baltimore Ravens a top team in the NFL? What do you think, Joe? Like, are the Baltimore Ravens a top 10 team right now in the NFL? I don't think they are. Many people in our Facebook groups and pages do not think they are as well. As my phone is blowing up. Is that Beastie? Oh, talking about the Pro Bowl. Talking about the Pro Bowl. Who wants to talk about the Pro Bowl? Are you guys excited about the Pro Bowl at all? I'm just kind of curious because it is a flag football game now, right? The Pro Bowl is a flag football game now. Man, Jesus, this is starting to really upset me. What's going on here? Come on, load. Anyways, moving on here. LeBron James crushed the media. Like, well, I don't understand that. So we're going through the comments here on the NFL Power Ranking, just see what people are changing. So Steven Vanderyacht says that Chargers, LOL. So Beastie has his Chargers sitting at number 8. I mean, I've said it several times in the last couple weeks that I think if the Los Angeles Chargers make the playoffs, they are one of the dangerous teams in the AFC. The Chargers, when healthy, they are arguably one of the best teams. For whatever reason, this is not loading tonight. It's really upsetting me. Let's go to NFL. I mean, who is that? Yeah, Steve. The Chargers, they are definitely a top 10 team. Definitely a top 10 team. Scrolling through the comments. It's funny to see the Lions up there. Is it really funny to see the Lions? BC has the Lions at number 9. I mean, they've won, 6 of their last 7. They're now 500. They've beaten the Vikings. They beat a playoff team in the Jets, or was a playoff team. I don't know if the Jets are going to make the playoffs now. It's just the Lions definitely deserve to be up there, 100%. And then Mike Hull says the Lions will take everybody else in the top 10 out. Whoa, slow it down, baby. The Lions are a good team. I like them, but they're not dangerous in the playoffs. They're not dangerous. Eric Banda says the 49ers up to 1 in the Bills spot. So he has the Bills at number 1 and the San Francisco 49ers sitting at number 3. Sorry, the Buffalo Bills are at number 2 and the 49ers are at 3. The Eagles are at number 1. So this particular guy thinks that the 49ers should be number 1? What? I don't think the 49ers should be number 1. I think that is a little high for that. I mean, they're a good team. They're hot. Have they won 7 in a row? I don't know. They're pretty good. Another Lions fan excited about their team getting up there with the emoji. I love the. I'm a big not emoji fan, but a GIF fan. I'm a big GIF fan. And then Dan Miller says, "How could the Vikings be in front of the Cowboys?" And then Tim says, "Because this is a stupid ass list." Well, that is a great question because the Cowboys lost to the Jaguars, which is not a top 10 team previously, and the Vikings won. So by default, like you kind of have to move one team up or one team down, right? Because I believe last week the Cowboys were sitting at 5 and the Vikings were at 6. So pretty much you just flip-flop them around. I see Joe's comment. He says, I believe this was when talking about the Chargers. No. It was the Ravens. Are the Ravens a top 10 team? Joe flat out just says no. They are not a top 10 team. And he says, now stop wasting my time on nonsense. Well, Joe, I believe your bachelor's on tonight, isn't it? Or Survivor or something. Go enjoy some Survivor, man. Sorry I'm wasting your time. Jack Ravage. Jack Ravage. Jags fan here. We going to make it by winning our division. Wow, Joe, or Jack. I agree, man. I agree with that 100%. But, so I am in a texting group. It's our fantasy text group, and they're all Colts fans. And they posted this that the Indianapolis Colts can still win the division because. So first of all, if you guys haven't heard, the Colts are starting Nick Foles on Sunday versus the Chargers. So check this out. So currently the Colts are sitting at 4-9-1, right, with their loss versus the who they play last week, the Vikings. Was it the Vikings last week? Yeah, I think it was the Vikings, right? So they're sitting at 4-9-1 right now. They could, in theory, win the division at 7-9-1 if they beat the Chargers, beat the Giants, and then beat the Houston Texans. All very real possibilities, right? But the Jaguars would have to lose. They would have to lose versus the Jets, lose versus the Houston Texans, and beat the Titans. And then the Titans would have to lose to the Texans, Cowboys, and Jaguars to end the season. And if all those were to fall into place, the Colts can make the playoffs. How crazy would that be if we have 2 division winners at 7-10? The NFC South is probably going to have a 7-10, and then in theory, the AFC South could as well. But I do think the Jaguars do win that division because the Houston Texans are not a terrible team. Right, they battled the Cowboys 2 weeks ago. They battled the Chiefs really well last week, and the Titans. Ryan Tannehill should be sitting out this week. The last I heard, because they just signed somebody off the Lions practice squad. Forgot his name. It's not Josh Rosen, but somebody else off the Lions practice squad. So all signs point that Ryan Tannehill will miss significant time, and Malik Willis will be starting for the Titans moving forward. So Jaguars have a real good chance of winning the division. Let me ask you this, Jack. Since you are a Jaguars fan, you guys will most likely be making the playoffs with a losing record, right? Maybe like 9-10, or sorry, 8-9 or 9-8. Either way, be like right around the 500 mark there. Would you rather be a one and done in the playoffs and say you made the playoffs, or miss the playoffs and get a better draft pick? Because let's be realistic here. I do think the Jaguars are a good team, but they're a year away to really being a threat in the AFC, maybe 2 years away. So is it more beneficial to miss the playoffs than it is to make it and be a one and done? Jack, I'm curious to see what you think about that. Let me know. I'm going to go stare at a blank wall now. It's going to be more enlightening than this. Peace. All right, Joe. You have a great night, buddy. Enjoy staring at your wall down there in Florida. Hopefully you're staying warm, man, because it's getting cold here. I know it's going to get like 10 degrees down in Florida. Hopefully you're having a good time, Buzz. Carlos Ortiz in the chat. What is up, Carlos? Birds are beating the Cowboys with Garner. Oh, man. Minshew Mania. Good. If you guys are new to Man Hour, Carlos, this is the first time I'm seeing you in here in our live chat. So thank you for joining in. Thank you for tuning in. Garner Minshew is terrible. I hate everything about Garner Minshew. If I could redo everything in my life and never see Garner Minshew again, I'll be very, very happy. Like, people love him for whatever reason. I'm sure he's a good person, right? But people love his swagger, his like what's the word I'm looking for? Like spunk or whatever that it thing is. People love him for it, and I feel like Gardner Minshew is a person that you love him if he's on your team and you hate him if he's not on your team. And he's never been on one of my teams, so I guess I just hate him because of that. But to think that Gardner Minshew is going to beat the Cowboys on Christmas Eve, I don't know, man. I mean, the Eagles are a good team, but Jalen Hurts is definitely what makes that team click. Jalen Hurts is playing out of his mind right now. He should definitely, hands down, probably be the NFL MVP. No question about it. I really like what Jalen Hurts is doing this season, and guys, let's not forget that people were saying that this is like a prove it year for Jalen Hurts. Like if he doesn't do it this year, like they're going to look to replace him, and he has done nothing but step up and destroy everybody, right? And it's been a great sight to see for not only Philadelphia Eagles fans, but for the rest of the NFL. He has put some faith back in humanity, right? Like he is a coach's son. He's a straight arrow shooter. He comes to work, does his job. He has fun, plays well, doing good and good things. But I do not foresee the Cowboys losing to the Philadelphia Eagles, even if Jalen Hurts was playing on Christmas Eve. I think the Cowboys are kind of in that pissed off mode right now. They've had two bad weeks, and people have been hyping up this game for since the Eagles lost to the Commanders. Like people have been hyping up Christmas Eve, and so I think the Cowboys just got caught looking ahead, versus the Texans and versus the Jaguars, two total trap games. But I think the Cowboys are going to come to play. I think it's going to be a great game. Must-watch TV, obviously. But if the Philadelphia Eagles do win this game, there is no doubt in my mind, with Gardner Minshew, if they win with Gardner Minshew, there's no doubt in my mind that Jalen Hurts will probably sit out the rest of the season, the rest of the regular season, get 100% healthy. They'll have that first round bye, so he'll have 4 weeks off, come back, and the Eagles are poised to make a Super Bowl run if they beat the Cowboys. We'll see Christmas Eve. Is that 2 days away? 3 days away? Well, Christmas is 4 days away, so 3 days away. Yeah. Alpha Rob says Bills, 49ers, Cincy, Kansas City, Philly, Dallas, LA, Minnesota, Fins, Ravens. I guess that is your top 5 or top 10 NFL power rankings there, Alpha Rob. So you have Philly at number 5. Like, if that is true, I'm not saying that Philly is a terrible team or like the best team in the NFL, because I still think that title goes to the Dallas Cowboys, to be honest with you, as a clear thinker. But Philly at 5, Alpha Rob? I feel like there's some bias because you are a Buffalo Bills fan. The Buffalo Bills are good. They're not even the best team in the AFC right now, Alpha Rob, let alone the NFL. I do like the 49ers at number 2. I think that's where BC has them, right? No, he has the Bills at 2. Cincinnati. Guys, are we sold on Cincinnati? We saw a slow start versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I said it last week, right? They're starting to get hot at the right time, but are we sold on them? Like, do we really truly think that they are poised to make a deep run again? Like, I don't think they are. I mean, I don't know. Only time will tell. Dallas is a good team, but LA. So the LA Chargers finally put good back-to-back games together, first time all season long. They are getting healthy. They are starting to look good. Mike Williams, when he is on the field, the Chargers are a different team offensively, and right now he is on the field. So I guess I can buy into that. Minnesota, definitely top 10 team. They're They're clicking. They're playing very, very good football right now. But Dolphins? The Dolphins? At number 9? Isn't it the same Dolphins team that's lost 3 in a row? To your Buffalo Bills, Alpha Rob, the 49ers, and didn't they lose a game before that? Come on. Number 9 for Dolphins? I don't know. We can agree to disagree on this because I like the teams in your top 10, except for the Dolphins and the Ravens. To replace those two teams, I would put the Lions are in there. I do like the Lions. I do like the Commanders, but I don't think they're a top 10 team as of yet. They're like a number 11, number 12 type of situation there. The Titans are just kind of blah right now. Let's look around the league here. So, I guess kind of by default, you kind of got to put the Ravens up there, right? I don't know. But yeah, we can agree to disagree on this. Jack coming back in the chat here. He says, miss it and get better draft picks, honestly. So we were talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars here. I asked him, should the Jaguars be a one and done in the playoffs or just miss it and get a better draft pick? And he says, miss it and get better draft pick, honestly. But I think that the Jags might go on a hot streak, but honestly, I'm not sure. So, Jack, you are new here, and this gets a hashtag waffle. This is a Wyatt Williams special right here. Waffle around that every which way. I want him to do good, but then I don't. Come on, Jack. Give us a straight answer, man. Like, I understand you want to root for your team. You want to see your team make it to the playoffs and get hot and do whatever, right? But don't be waffling around, man. Come on, give us a straight answer. Do you want to make the playoffs or do you not, Jack? Come on, man. You're better than that, boss. Is that the... Can you guys hear that when I do that? I guess when I talk. Okay. I don't know. I just got this headset in for our live show coming up in Chicago. So we're testing it out, trying to get the kinks out and whatnot. But Jack, come on, man. Miss it and get a better draft pick, honestly. But I think the Jags might get hot and go on a hot streak. But honestly, I'm not sure. Waffle this way, waffle that way, Jack. I don't know. We'll let it slide this time since you're new here, Jack. But usually in the chat, man, we got to spam you with the hashtag waffle. Carlos Ortiz in the chat tonight. He says it's going to be Mahomes. NFL going to ride him. I am not for sure what you're referring to there, Carlos. So if you could clear that out a little bit, I don't know what you're trying to say there. Like, are you saying that the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes will be going to the Super Bowl, or help me figure that out there, Carlos? I'm not for sure what's going on. Alpha Rob, how Allen not in the MVP talk? No more, because he had 2 bad games, not one perfect all year. So, Alpha Rob, I think Josh Allen is getting the Patrick Mahomes treatment, meaning that we expect him to do what he does year in and year out. When Lamar Jackson won his MVP his second year in the league, it wasn't because, he jumped off the page numbers-wise at you. Yes, he had a good rushing season, right? But passing yards and efficiency and wins and they're like 13-3 like that year, one and done in the playoffs. I mean, the reason why I think Lamar Jackson won his MVP is because he did something that he has never done before in his career. Now we kind of expect him to do this, and when he's not doing he sucks. But you guys know how I feel about Lamar Jackson. Patrick Mahomes, the year that Lamar Jackson won his MVP, missed 3 games that particular season with a dislocated kneecap, and he still had a better year than his second year in the league, but he didn't get get one, right? And then the next year he's at 5,000 yards. So I think Josh Allen is getting the Patrick Mahomes treatment, meaning we are expecting him to be hurling guys. We are expecting him to, put the team on his back and mow over defenders and rush for 200 yards. And so as I feel that Josh Allen is a MVP of the league and he should at one point win a MVP, he is too consistent. I mean, is that a bad thing to say? Your quarterback is too consistent, so that is why he is not in the MVP talks. That's why I think Aaron Rodgers won his MVP first time 2 seasons ago, right? Because the previous year he had such a down year, and then boof, he's back up, right? Watch out for Aaron Rodgers. Now, he had good stats. The team was, they were 13-3 too, right? So, Josh Allen he's too consistent, I think. I think that is the true thing at the end of the day. He is going to have one of those seasons where he has a 6-game stretch of 350 yards, 80 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns, just tearing it up. Because when he's consistently 250, 60 yards on the ground, it's it's just Josh Allen being Josh Allen. He's this isn't an MVP. We expect it. Also, on the flip side of the coin, the NFL MVP award is really not a true MVP award. Let's just think about this. For the last 15 years or whatever it's been since a non-quarterback has won the MVP, it is the best quarterback. It's the quarterback on the best team. Because if you want to talk about true MVPs, let's talk no further than Geno Smith. Geno Smith is arguably the reason why the Seahawks are even in consideration of making a playoff berth. Do we think Drew Lock could have led the Seahawks to their 6-7 record or 7-8 record right now? I don't think so. Geno Smith is really the true MVP of the league right now. He is the most valuable player on the Seattle Seahawks team right now. Let's look at other teams. Let's go down south to Miami. Your arch rival, I mean not really arch rival, but a division rival, Miami Dolphins. Is Tyreek Hill the MVP of the Miami Dolphins? Yes. Now, his numbers aren't jumping off the page at you, but his presence on the field makes him a very valuable player for the Miami Dolphins. When you have to bracket and double team a player play after play after play, that makes you a valuable player, because when he's not on the field, they can stuff the box, they can start the run, they can double team Waddle, and the other receivers can't get open because they're just not that good. I think the MVP vote, I'm not 100% sure how the MVP these are won in the NFL. I should probably look into that. I mean, I'm talking about the NFL. I should know how the MVP voting works. But I feel that the voters or the writers, whoever is a part of the MVP selection committee, needs to reevaluate. Truly make it a true MVP award. Because let me ask you this, Alpha Rob. Is Josh Allen the MVP of his team? Or is it Von Miller? Or is it Micah Hyde? When we need to reevaluate the MVP, I think. Just like how we reevaluated the Pro Bowl, we need to reevaluate the MVP. Maybe have every team nominate their most valuable player. Say, hey, Micah Parsons is the reason why our team clicks. Dak Prescott is the reason why our team clicks. Then, out of those 32 polls, or 32 players, right, then we let the writers decide, right, out of the 32 players. Carlos jumping back in the chat again. He says, ESPN has the Cowboys at number 1. There's no freaking way ESPN has the Cowboys at number 1 in their power rankings. There is no way. Carlos, I think you may have misread something there. The Cowboys might have the number 1 defense, but even then, they don't even have the most sacks in the league. That goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. The offense isn't the best or the most efficient, because that goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, actually. If you break it down by stats, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have one of the best offenses in the NFL, which is weird to me because they freaking suck. But stat-wise or efficiency or however they figure that out, it's statline.com is where I got that from. But, yeah, I don't know. Then he also says the same Commanders who lost to the Giants. Yeah, so, Carlos, a couple days ago, I said the Commanders are one of the most dangerous teams in the NFC if they make the playoffs. Key word is there is if they make the playoffs. The Commanders are a team that you do not want to get hot. Do you realize their best defensive player is not even on the field yet? Chase Young, their best defensive player, is not even on the field yet. And their defense is already a top 5 defense. Add Chase Young in there, they might be the best defense in the league. No, they will be the best defense in the league. Taylor Heinicke is getting better each and every week. The Giants and Commanders game, that second game, you kind of just got to throw out the window. Because the Commanders literally played them back to back. They played the Giants, had a bye week, and then played them again. And the Giants, I mean, it just, I don't understand why the NFL does that, to be honest with you. These back-to-back games are dumb. I mean, you can have a week in between, but they're still playing back-to-back. You have 18 weeks to schedule this game, and you put them back-to-back. That's just stupid. So I'm taking the Giants-Commanders game and throwing that second game, throwing it completely out the window. Yes, the Giants won. Yes, they're the 6th seed in the NFC as of right now. The Commanders are 7th seed. But if you had a choice, if you are, let's see here, who is the 2nd and 3rd seed in the playoffs right now? If you are the Vikings or the San Francisco 49ers, one of those two teams, who would you rather play? The New York Football Giants or the Washington Commanders? I guarantee you both of those teams are saying, I would rather play the New York Football Giants. They don't want to play the Commanders. People do not want to play the Commanders in the playoffs. They don't. The Eagles don't. The 49ers don't. The Vikings don't. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't. Who else could possibly make the playoffs? The Lions don't. The Seahawks don't. No team wants the Commanders right now as a first round draw or even a second round draw. They don't want them. That's why I would put the Commanders in the top 10 in the NFL power rankings. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to scrape the microphone. Alpha Rob says picks aren't guaranteed to be good. I believe he is talking about the NFL draft with the Jacksonville Jaguars there. Yeah, I mean, obviously no picks are guaranteed. I mean, everything is a boom or bust, right, Alpha Rob? But when you make the playoffs, you instantly jump up to 20th pick at the lowest, or I guess at the highest. 14 teams make it. So you instantly jump up to 18 at least, right? So, I mean, it's just, would you rather have an 18th pick or a 9th pick? That's kind of what it comes down to. 18th pick or 9th pick. Say you want to draft 18th or 19th, though, but you're sitting at number 9. It's a hell of a lot easier to go down in the draft. Like, hey, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we know you need a quarterback. There's a quarterback coming in that 9th pick here. Why don't you give us your pick and then a second-round pick, and then you can have our pick, right? I mean, there are so many pros to being missing the playoffs instead of being a one and done. I mean, I definitely understand what you're saying, Alpha Rob, but at the same time, there's more pros to cons of missing the playoffs and then being a one and done. So let me ask you this, Alpha Rob: do you think the Jacksonville Jaguars will be a one and done in the playoffs? Because I think they will. I do like the Jaguars. I think they're a good team, but I think they're a year or two away to being a threat. That's all I'm saying. Jack Ravage coming in the chat again. He says, if the Jaguars win tomorrow, they should be a top 10 or at least top 12. And if they beat the Jets, I want them to make the playoffs. So, Jack, I actually think the Jaguars are already a top 10 team. They are probably number 11 right now. They're playing really, really good football. Earlier in the season, was it week 3 and 4? Combsy had him as high as number 6 at some point in his power rankings, and obviously they went on that little, was it 5-game skid or 4-game skid, and obviously they fell back. Since falling back and now having a losing record, people have kind of wrote off the Jaguars. To be honest with you, they're like, oh, this team is trash. They just beat some teams that weren't worth anything, yada yada yada, and just like I feel people are sleeping on the Jaguars right now, but I still think they're a couple years away. Carlos says the MVPs is going to be to Mahomes. LOL. See, Vegas does have Mahomes as a front runner, as like a 2-to-1 odds or 1-to-2, however you say it. But right now, I think the MVP is going to be Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts or Tua. Whoever wins their division, which is probably going to be the Eagles, I think Tua gets the MVP this year. Luke G says, we in here. What's up, fam? So Luke G, a part of Man Hour Sports Network. If you guys have not subscribed to Luke G, he does a Detroit Lions show. It is arguably one of the best Detroit Lions shows that I've ever heard. This man puts in work. He has passion for his team, and he is just a great dude. Great dude. So Luke, when me and Luke agree on things, guys, you know hell has frozen over. And I'm not talking about hell, Michigan. I'm talking about hell where Satan lives, right? He says, facts, Buck. MVP should almost be on defense. The most valuable player should be on defense year in and like year out. Yeah, I agree with that to an extent. Because sometimes the defense as a collective whole is just good. They never have that standout guy, right? Now, most teams do have that standout guy. The Rams had Aaron Donald for many, many, many years. The 49ers have, is it Nick Bosa? Chargers have Joey Bosa, right? I mean, like, there are teams that have those standout guys, but in the end, you know, some offensive players, you know, it's just like, I feel like it shouldn't be a quarterback every year. Carlos says, nah, I'm being serious. Cowboys is at number 1. Let me look this up, Carlos, because I'm not calling you a liar, but I'm not believing you right now. ESPN NFL Power Rankings. Fam. All right, NFL Week 16 Power Rankings. Come on, fam. They don't have the Cowboys at number 1. At number 1, they have the Philadelphia Eagles unchanged. The Buffalo Bills at number 2, up 3 spots. And the Kansas City Chiefs down 2 spots. Then they had the Bengals, 49ers. The Cowboys are sitting at 6, fam. Come on, dog. I mean, I guess they're number 1 in the second top 5. If you want to do that. The Eagles are like number 5. Dude, I don't know what you're talking about, man. This can't be their power rankings. This has to be like something else. Carlos says the Niner defense is better. Yeah, the 49ers defense right now is the best defense in the NFL, hands down. I will give you that. It's 9 times and 2 times on Sunday, right? The 49ers are playing great defense right now, great offense. They're all around great football. Excuse me. Alpha Rob coming in here. He says the Jacksonville Jaguars need experience, not picks. So, I am a firm believer that you have to learn how to lose before you can win. So, I guess with that being said, if you want to take what I believe in, you are exactly right, Alpha Rob. Making the playoffs is a great experience for those young players. It is a great experience for Trevor Lawrence to learn how to lose in the playoffs. But at the same time, what are the biggest needs for the Jacksonville Jaguars moving forward? Their defense is fairly stout. I think they need some help in the secondary, like the safeties. I think safeties are pretty weak. They're set at quarterback. Obviously, the receiver core is they're not bad. Christian Kirk is kind of living up to the hype, I guess. Like a little bit. They could use a receiver. But, you know, I I guess, Alpha Rob, you are right. You are making me eat some crow now. Like, if I truly think the Jacksonville Jaguars are a year away, they should probably learn how to lose in the playoffs this year, right? Like, I stand corrected. You are correct, Alpha Rob. I stand corrected. Carlos says, do I need to send it to you? Yes, definitely send it to me. Screenshot it and send it to me at facebook.com/manhoursports. I'm the one that answers those DMs over there. I'm the one that answers those comments, my man. Definitely, hook me up with that, because I'm looking at it right now. ESPN.com/NFL/story/2002 NFL Week 16 Power Rankings 1 through 32 poll released. And the number one team are the Philadelphia Eagles. So, fam, I don't know what you are seeing, what you are believing over there, but, man, definitely screenshot it to me. Maybe you're looking at 2021, or 2020, or 2019. Definitely not 2022. I do think the Cowboys are the most dangerous team in the NFC, and the playoffs that the Commanders don't make it, but definitely not an NFL number one power ranking right now. There are, I think ESPN kind of got it right. There are 5 teams better than them. The 49ers, the Bengals, the Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, and the Eagles. But, guys, it looks like that is going to be it for tonight. Hopefully you guys kind of enjoy this kind of hangout session here. Like I said, I got to have anything planned whatsoever. No fancy edits, no music. Just hanging out with you guys. Preparing for this, what is this winter storm called? Let me get, I'd be good enough to alerts about it. Where's it at? I don't even, was it like Winter Storm Erica or something? I don't even remember. A bomb cyclone. Like, I've heard like 7 names for it. I've heard like a Winter Storm Erica or something like that. A bomb cyclone. I don't even know what a bomb cyclone is. But yeah, it just, guys, be safe. Stay safe out there. I know in the Dakotas area, they're getting hammered right now. Wichita, Kansas, where my fam is at, they're getting ice, and people are there's already been like 2 deaths on the road. It's coming this way to Indiana, guys. So definitely be safe out there if you're in this Midwest bomb cyclone area. Be safe out there. If you're going to the NFL games over the weekend and you're in the area, bundle up. It's going to be cold. Like, I think tomorrow's supposed to be like -5 degrees here in southern Indiana. So, guys, be safe, be warm, all that good stuff. Carlos said, I sent it to you, this page. Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you as well, Carlos. I'm glad you could join us tonight. It's always nice seeing good faces over here, guys. But we'll be back tomorrow, pending, storm out or power outages and internet outage. 8 p.m. East Coast time. Beastie says he will be on to talk his NFL power rankings. We'll see if he stands up again. But, guys, thank you for joining us. Alpha Rob, Carlos, who else? Steve, Jack, Luke G. Guys, thank you for jumping in. Even Joe. Joe, even though you try to spam me like all the time or troll me all the time, I'm the master troll, my man. It is what it is. Guys, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.